Howdy, and welcome to the Department of Entomology's presentation on our Forensic and Investigative Sciences program. We have an advising team that is made up of 2 advisors. My name is Ann Poole, and I will be hosting your presentation today. My primary responsibility is to work with our undergraduate students throughout their time here at Texas A&M. We also have Ms. Rebecca Hates, who is also an advisor for both our undergraduate and graduate programs. Both Rebecca and I can be reached via email should you have any questions following this presentation. Just to provide a little information regarding admissions, our freshman admissions is all done, all decisions are made through the Office of Admissions. So if you apply to Texas A&M, meet our admissions requirements and you are admitted, and if you have forensics as your first choice of major, then you will be admitted to our program. We do have some enrollment management going on at this time. We are in hopes of admitting anywhere an average of 200 students with the hopes of capturing 75 to 100 students. So the earlier you apply, the better chances you have of being accepted into our program. Something that I do want to point out to each of you is that our forensics program does not participate in the PSA program. The PSA program is a program offered through the admissions office for students to attend one of our system schools for a year. And then if you meet those requirements, you're guaranteed admissions into Texas A&M. However, that guarantee only is for admissions. It is not to the major of your choice. We were running into issues in which the students who would participate in PSA would not follow our specific curriculum, and which we needed them to follow, which is 2 sciences and math in their first 2 semesters. So therefore, because they were not in the same position as the students who were starting out in our program here at Texas A&M, we decided that we would opt out of participating in the PSA program. So if you're offered a PSA opportunity and you want to major in forensics, we would just encourage you to attend a school of your choice, follow our strict transfer requirements, and just apply as a regular transfer student. If you participate in the PSA program, you will not be able to transfer in, or you will not be able to come into the forensics program. As far as transfer admissions, this is a 2-part admissions process. So we have very strict transfer requirements. So first, if you meet the transfer requirements to get into Texas A&M, then your application is then sent from the admissions office to our office for our review to make sure that you are meeting our very specific requirements. And then once we review that, if you're meeting them or whatever our decision may be, whether it's accept or deny, then we send that back to the admissions office, and then you are notified of our decision. So what is forensic science? According to one definition, the word forensics means the application of scientific knowledge to legal problems. The term forensic science refers to a group of scientific disciplines which are concerned with the application of their particular scientific area of expertise to law enforcement's criminal, civil, legal, and judicial matters. So the title of this degree is a Bachelor's of Science in Forensics and Investigative Sciences. So I said one word twice, and one of them was plural, and that was science. So we stress heavily the importance of having a good, strong science foundation, in particular in chemistry, your biology, physics, things of that nature. So this is a heavily science-intensive program. So 100 out of the 120 credit hour curriculum, 72 hours are science-based courses. So it's very important that you have a good understanding of the science requirements within this program. Sometimes our forensics program can be confused with that of a criminal justice degree. We step back and look at criminal justice, which is focused more on the rehabilitation of offenders rather than the analysis, interpretation, and presentation of scientific evidence in a court of law. So just to make it short and sweet, our forensics degree is not a criminal justice degree. And here are some differences. The way that we look at it is that criminal justice is a broad term that refers to the procedures and government organizations that focus on upholding the law. These government entities work to maintain control of the public arena, to prevent and manage crime. They authorize punishment for criminal activities and then offer rehabilitation. So as you can see on the chart above or on this page, some of the jobs under criminal, or what some of the career titles or jobs are under criminal justice, and then you can see what some of the career opportunities are for forensics. Usually the criminal justice, again, are focusing on upholding the law, but forensics doesn't get involved until after a crime or a law has been broken. And so that is the biggest difference. So if you are wanting to go into where you are in the field and doing any of these things where you're maintaining control in the public arena, preventing and managing crime, or if you want to be one who either assigns punishment or offers rehabilitation, then that's going to be more of a criminal justice. But if you are wanting to take the evidence that's being brought in and you're wanting to do the research and the testing of that evidence to prove who, what, when, where, and how, then that will be more of your criminal justice. We are the only bachelor's degree in the state of Texas that is accredited, that's nationally accredited by the Forensic Science Education Programs Accreditation Commission, otherwise known as FEPAC, of the American Academy of Forensic Sciences. Now, this accreditation only applies to the science emphasis area within our program and not the law area. But what does this mean to you as a prospective student to be coming from or attending a accredited program? Well, number one, most of the employers who are in the field of forensics are a member of the American Academy of Forensic Sciences. So they know what the requirements for this accreditation are, and they know the caliber of student that is being put out. Also, there are there are certain programs that offer master's degrees that only accept students who come from FEPAC accredited programs. As well as there is a new law, which we will be getting to in just a moment, that if you are wanting to practice in a forensics lab, that you must maintain or possess a certain amount of educational requirements, as well as skills and the accreditation that you would need to work in one of those labs. And so you have to take a licensing exam, and they have based most of the coursework required for that licensing exam off of the FEPAC accreditation requirements. So you will be very prepared to go into this licensing exams because you would be coming from an accredited program. Our forensics program has recently been ranked #1 out of 25 best bachelor's in forensic science programs by the Bachelor's Degree Center, which is an independent resource website. The rankings were based on several factors, including cost, program reputation, alumni salaries, graduation rates, and job placement rates. So this is something that we're extremely proud of, and something that we have worked very hard, a status that we've worked very hard on, not only for Texas A&M, but then also for our students and former students. So we're extremely proud to have been given this ranking. As I mentioned before, the Texas Forensic Science Commission passed a law during the 2019 legislative session, in which if you are wanting to work in a crime lab or work as a forensic analyst, you must have a license to do so in the state of Texas. And so to do that, you must have meet the minimum education requirements, which our forensics science emphasis meets those requirements, our accredited part of our program. Specific coursework requirements, which again, our forensics science emphasis meets these requirements. You also have to take a general forensic analyst or technician licensing exam and a proficiency exam. And so our science emphasis area within our program, which is our accredited portion of our program, meets these education and specific coursework requirements. So as I've been mentioning, we have two emphasis areas within our degree. We have a pre-law emphasis area and our science emphasis area. Our pre-law emphasis area was really created because there was a shortage of attorneys and judges who have the scientific knowledge or background to understand the scientific evidence that was being presented by expert witnesses, which in this case would be forensic scientists. The pre-law side is really created for anyone who is wanting to become an attorney or who may ultimately want to become a judge. This is not accredited under FEPAC, and it does not meet the licensure requirements. So you could not practice in a lab should you choose to do the pre-law emphasis area within our program. Our science emphasis area, however, is our accredited portion. It does meet the Texas licensure requirements. And as you can see under it, there are several different areas in which you can work within our science option. So if you have any interest in doing toxicology or DNA, firearms, hazard materials, latent print, forensic nursing, if you have a desire to become a physician or a medical examiner or a dentist, if you have any interest in doing work with pathology or biology, anthropology or psychiatry, any of those areas, then the science emphasis area would get you there. The science emphasis area meets all of the prereqs for med school, whether you want to go or not. It too, again, as I said before, is accredited, and it will provide you the background and meets the requirements that you would need in order to work in a crime lab. Despite which emphasis area you wish to go into, the first year of the program is exactly the same. In the first semester, we will have students taking a FIBS 101 class, which is an introduction to college class, a transition to college class, if you will. These courses are taught by Rebecca and myself. This is where we get to work with our incoming students right off the bat, introducing them to the various different resources that are available to them as students at Texas A&M. And so we work with these students to hopefully get them off on the right foot and make them aware of the various resources that are available to them academically, mentally, health, socially, things of that nature. We require our students to take a Math 140, which is a business finite math, and it is the prereq to Math 142, which is our calculus course that you would be required to take. We require the students to take their intro to chemistry, intro to biology, and their FIBS 205, which is an introduction to forensics. In this 205 course, you will receive the course will provide you all of the different arenas in which you could have a career within forensics, and probably will provide you some good guidance as to what direction or even which emphasis area you may want to go into based on your career. In the second semester, you'll take your second half of chemistry, second half of biology, you'll take your calculus math, and then a communication elective. In the box next to this, you will see that there is a list of courses that we refer to as the common body of knowledge. These courses are all of the courses that must be completed in your first 2 years in order for you to be able to advance into the upper level portion of our program. I know it looks like a lot and that we may be potentially trying to weed out students. That is not the case. These courses all serve as prereqs to our upper level courses, and particularly our science courses. And so it is very important so that you are meeting time to degree within 4 hours, that these courses are completed within the first 2 years. Once a student is admitted into our program, there are minimum guidelines that they would need to follow in order to remain in the program. So as long as you are a freshman or you have 0 to 29 credit hours, you must maintain a 2.75 overall GPR. Once you reach 30 credit hours and until you graduate, you must maintain a 3.0 overall GPR. Either of these situations, dependent upon how many grade points you are down, could be subject to probationary terms. And that's just something where we'll sit down. The more hours you have and the lower your GPR is, sometimes that's a lot more difficult to bring your GPA up to the level that it needs to be. However, we look at each case individually, and we look at, again, the total credit hours that you have and the number of grade points that you are down. And then we will sit down and discuss the probationary terms with you. Each student must enroll and satisfactorily complete a minimum of 1 science course per semester. If this is not met, it is automatic dismissal from our program with no appeal. So as you saw in the previous slide where you had to have Chem 119 to get to Chem 120, and you had to have Biology 111 to get to Biology 112. Well, each of those courses are built off of each other. So you have to have Chem 119 and 120 to be able to get to your organics, and so on. And so if you don't complete a science in a year or in 1 semester, you could get off track with our program for a year, which would be adding a year to the time to your degree. And so that's not something that we want you to do. And then students must have a C or make a C or better in all courses. Now a D is passing at Texas A&M, but it is not in our program, in the forensics program. So how does dual credit and AP credit play a role in your classification status regarding your GPA? So dual credit, it automatically counts towards your total credit hours, even if the courses do not count towards your degree. Now your grades are not calculated in your TAMU GPA, but the credit or the credit hours that you have brought in with you from high school do count in your total credit hours, okay? So if you come in with 36 credit or dual credit hours, then you can see that that's automatically gonna put you in the higher GPA bracket of a 3.0, okay? So dual credit, there's not much we can do about that. Once it's on your transcript, it is on your transcript, and it doesn't matter if it counts toward your degree or not. Those total credit hours are on your transcript. Now AP is a little bit different. Students with AP credit need to keep in mind that your AP scores are sent to Texas A&M, but the credit is not applied to your transcript. Your credit isn't applied to your transcript until you physically go in and accept that credit for you saying, yes, I want to accept these AP credits for whatever the courses may be. We recommend that students wait to accept their AP credit until after their freshman year, so that if you only have AP credit, it's not counting on your transcript, and it leaves you in that 0 to 29 GPA bracket, which means there's a year for you to have a 2.75. We will mark on your curriculum that you have AP credit for whatever courses it is that you have, whether it be in math and English, history, political science, any of those things. we will mark on your curriculum and we will not have you repeat those. The only time that we would discuss repeating a course with a student would be if it is a science course, and truthfully being your chemistry. So chemistry is the backbone of this program. So you're going to go from your intro to chemistry to your organic chemistries to your analytical chemistry to your biochems, your genetic, all the way down. So from the beginning of your freshman year all the way down through your senior year, you will have some form of a chemistry course. And so having a strong foundation in chemistry is very important. So if you come to me and say, Ann, I feel very confident that I have a good foundation in chemistry and you're ready to accept that AP credit, then we will accept AP credit, whatever AP credit we have or you have for chemistry, and then we will go to the next level of chemistry. But that will only be done when you come and say, I have that foundation and I feel very good about that foundation and I'm ready to go to the next set of chemistry courses. So dual credit, we can't do anything about it. It's already here. It's already on your transcript. AP credits, however, your test scores are sent here. We do not, or you do not go in and accept those until after your freshman year. That way it doesn't bump you into the higher GPA bracket. The only reason we would accept them ahead of that time would be if that class serves as a prereq, and that's the only way that we can get you in the next set of courses is by accepting those. Okay. Just some general information that I like to provide. The Office of Professional School Advising, they are the liaisons between our students and med school, dental school, PT school, PA school, any of your professional schools that students may want to go into. And they provide information to our students on making sure what is accepted as prereq courses and what is not. So I like to let you guys know this ahead of time because you are either taking AP exams or AP classes and probably planning those out for your next school year. And so I just want you to know kind of what their advice would be. So according to the Office of Professional School Advising, it is not advisable to accept AP or IB credit for prerequisite courses for medical, PT, OT, or PA school. Generally, non-science courses are less problematic, and some programs do not accept at all any AP or IB credits for prereqs. Sorry about that. As far as community college or junior college credit, all grades count towards an applicant's overall and prerequisite GPAs. So when you take courses or transfer in courses from other institutions, those grades are not calculated into your A&M GPA. However, they will count towards your applicant or your overall and prerequisite GPA if you were applying to any of the professional schools, so law school, med school, PA, PT, all of those that we have been discussing. Prerequisites and online courses. So it is not advisable to take any science prerequisites outside of your home institution. They should be taken at your four-year institution. So some of our students sometimes choose to take their physics back home at a community college, even though they're attending Texas A&M and will graduate from Texas A&M. That is not advisable if you are applying to professional school. They want you to take all of your science courses at your four-year institution. It also is not advisable for courses requiring labs to be taken online at other institutions as well, and particularly your science courses. So they are strongly advised against that. So each student within our program is required to either do an internship or a research project. We have current research happening within the department and across campus. We have agencies who come in with interest in offering internships to our students, such as our local police departments, our sheriff's office. We have a local FBI office. Also, the National FBI office comes and recruits. And then the various different crime labs that are offered, such as the Austin Crime Lab, the Harris County Forensics Crime Lab, the Texas Forensic Science Commission Crime Lab is also available. This is a 2-credit-hour minimum requirement for graduation. It is usually performed in your junior or senior year after you've gotten quite a few of our forensics courses under your belt. And it is the student's responsibility for obtaining this research or finding an internship. However, we do have an internship research coordinator who can help you with that process as well in order for you to find what it is that you want to do and make sure that it is in alignment with your career goals. This internship and research must be forensics related. Even if you are wanting to become an attorney, if you could work as an intern in a law office, which may focus on criminal law, that would be ideal for you to do. We offer also 2 study abroad opportunities. These study abroad opportunities can also fulfill your research requirement. We have one opportunity that is with the University of Lincoln, which is in the United Kingdom. This would be a 4-week program in which you would go to the University of Lincoln and do forensic toxicology research. We have also with the University of Lincoln a 4+1 opportunity, which means that once you finish your degree, or our degree, our forensics degree here at Texas A&M, then you can go over to the University of Lincoln for 1 year and come out with a master's in forensic science. This is a great and unique opportunity for our students to do, because the University of Lincoln is very well known for their forensic toxicology, not only in the United Kingdom, but also worldwide. And so going on this study abroad would introduce you to the University of Lincoln, to some of its faculty. You can become familiar with the town of Lincoln. And then if you wish to go back after you finish your 4-year program here and obtain your master's, then you can do that. So it's really a cool location to go and study and do research. The University of Lincoln is a very new state-of-the-art university, so everything is top of the line and just new and fresh. And then literally you step across the cobblestone street and you're back into another century or another time in which there's a castle that is available and an old cathedral and all of these cobblestone roads and quaint shops and restaurants and things that you can go to. So it's pretty cool to kind of have the best of both worlds there. So it's an exciting opportunity that our students are going to be embarking on. We also have another study abroad opportunity to Trinidad and Tobago. Here students would go for 5 weeks in which they would be doing research in forensic decomposition, forensic entomology, and forensic soil analysis. Again, this is another opportunity for students to gain some research experience, which would count for that 2-credit-hour requirement that each student must do. Students are certainly welcome to go one summer to Trinidad and Tobago and another summer to the University of Lincoln. We would encourage them to do that just to get as much experience as a student can. But these are some exciting things that you would get to do, and we're excited for our students to gain this international experience. So if a student wishes to attend another university or college prior to coming to A&M, then here are the transfer requirements that are strictly adhered to. So if a student has 0 to 45 total credit hours, so again, that includes anything that's AP, dual credit, and then of course, whatever they're taking at the university they are currently at. They must complete Chemistry 1 and 2, so Chem 119 and 120. Then a minimum of 2 other science courses from the common body of knowledge, which, as we saw before, would be either biology, organic chemistry, or physics. And then they must have a minimum of 2 other CBK courses on that list. So on that list we had, they would need to take their maths, or a math and an English, or a math and 1 additional science, whatever that may be. These courses at the time that they are applying must have these courses completed with an overall GPA of a 3.0. Once a student reaches 46 credit hours but has less than or equal to 65 total credit hours, they must have completed all of the common body of knowledge courses and have a 3.0 overall GPA. We do not accept any change of majors or transfer students who are above 65 total credit hours. Again, once they are at 65 hours, they are ready to go into their junior and senior year, and if they have not completed this common body of knowledge, then that's adding time to their degree. And so we are hoping that students will have their requirements or their common body of knowledge completed before they go into the upper level portion of this program. Again, students must have a C or higher on all of the common body of knowledge courses, as a D and below is not considered passing within our forensics program. So again, here's the list of the common body of knowledge courses that you must have in order to change, in order to transfer into our program. And also, just as I've kind of slipped up here before, with that said, if a student starts at Texas A&M but not in forensics, these are the exact same requirements that those students must meet in order to change majors. So our change of major and transfer requirements are exactly the same. So here's some of the reason why we stress the importance of having a good, strong science foundation. These are our retention numbers. As you can see, in the fall of 2016, we had 79 students who entered our program as freshmen. Of the 79, 39 continued to the spring semester, and of the 39, 27 continued to the second year. In 2017, we had 92 students who entered the program. Of the 92, 55 continued to the spring, and 41 continued to the second year. In 2018, we had 108 who entered the program, 46 who continued to the spring semester, and 34 who continued to the second year. And then in 2019, so this past fall, we had 76 students who entered the program, and 41 of those students have continued to the spring semester, which we are currently still in. And so we don't know who or how many who will continue to our second year. As you can see, our numbers fluctuate quite a bit. We are now getting to what we consider to be our new average class size. Normally our average class size was around anywhere from 20 to 25. And now we are averaging in the mid-30s. And so this is something that we're very happy and excited about. And we these are a few things that have assisted with our retention numbers and the reason why our students are being more successful. So as I've mentioned before, we offer what is called a FIVS 101 class. This is an academic success course. We are now currently in our second semester of teaching this course. It has provided a great opportunity for both Rebecca and myself to get to know our incoming students on a different level. We see them every week. And we are able to address issues immediately when they arise, as opposed to waiting until they become something bigger. And so we are working with our students on that. And we are seeing that our students are taking more advantage of the resources that are available to them, such as our Academic Success Center, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But also it focuses on their time management skill and their organizational skills. And we have peer mentors that work with these courses as well. And these are students who've been through our program and are very helpful to our incoming students. We also have a forensics upper level, lower level peer mentor program in which we work in conjunction with the Career Center on this. But basically we have a software that, for lack of a better example, is kind of like Match.com. So our lower level students, so our freshmen and sophomores, go in and they create a profile of themselves, things that they're interested in, careers they are interested in. And then the upper level students, our juniors and seniors, go in and put a profile as well. And basically it matches our students up with those students who have the same or similar interests and likes that they do. And so it gives them that added understanding of one another. If someone wants to be a forensic psychiatrist or do anthropology, or if someone wants to go into toxicology, so they match them up based on that. And then the upper level student is able to guide the lower level student throughout the program. And so it has worked out really well for our students, and I know that they have appreciated this mentor group. And then the university has put a lot of funding into our Academic Success Center and all of its resources. And so there is absolutely no reason for a current student at Texas A&M to not be performing well academically unless they are not using the resources that are available to them. And so we like to get this out to our students quickly and as often as we possibly can, so that we can head off any academic issues that may arise. We have 2 student organizations that are associated with our department. I list both of them here because they do a lot of things together, and they are open to all majors. So we do have students who are double majoring in forensics and in entomology, so they want to become a forensic entomologist. And so they would be a member of both organizations. Right now, as you're preparing to apply to Texas A&M, you are having to show where you have some leadership experience and things of that nature. Well, these student organizations, when it comes time for you to apply for a job, you're going to have to kind of show that same leadership experience that you've gained in college, and these 2 organizations can provide some of that leadership experience with you. These students do things, or these groups do things together, such as if they bring in a forensic entomologist as a guest speaker, then both organizations participate in that. If they take a field trip to a body farm, then both organizations participate in that. But they also do things, of course, individually on their own as their own organization. And so the opportunities for your involvement within these organizations are great. And you will be then interacting with your own peers, and then also interacting with students who have the same interests and likes as you do. And then finally, this is our website. So the information that we have covered today you should be able to find on our website under future students. And so again, I would encourage you to take a look at our website. Again, I would remind you that if you have any questions following this presentation, to either email myself or Rebecca, and that is the best way to get a hold of us at this time. My email address is AnnPool, ANNPOOL, @TAMU.edu. So please feel free to send me any questions, or if I may have forgotten to mention anything in this presentation, please feel free to ask. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you and or hearing from you via email. Have a great day.